Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're having Brad Stieler talk about Rapala, Williamson, and all kinds of fishing here on Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. Having a great time and giving away an awesome prize, too.
You're not kidding, man. Really cool. And a hand-picked pack of Rapala and Williamson lures. The package is worth well over $100 and includes the hottest X-Rat Magnums, but it's just a bunch of cool stuff from both Rapala and Williamson, Rapala, Williamson, whatever you want to call it, depending on which side of this table you're sitting on. But a really cool prize pack, and we're really stoked to get to give that away, Brad. That's awesome, and somebody's going to be really stoked. If you want to get your shot at winning that great prize, or better yet, your chance to talk to the man himself, talk to Brad, 858 area code 457-1090. That's our local number. Again, 858-457-1090, or call us toll-free. That toll-free number, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090 is going to be our call. And let's start off with the catch report. Find out what's going on out there on the water. And today, that FishDope.com report is sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros. And once you try them, you'll be hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish to your specs, as well as offer the best in smoked fish, jerky, and their famous tuna burgers. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or you can see them when your trip returns to the San Diego landings. We're going to go live. Captain Bill Cavanaugh calling us from the Intrepid this morning. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Pete. How you guys doing?
Doing great. A little bonus report.
Yeah, we just got in from a 7-day trip this morning that was pretty phenomenal, to say the least. I just wanted to call in with a report.
Yeah,
awesome.
Tell us,
we're excited to hear about it.
Yeah, we rolled out a week ago, and we went straight down to Aleos Rocks because no one had been there for a little while, and we were greeted with warm water and wahoo. We had really good wahoo fishing our first day. Pretty stoked about that. And then we kind of looked around for some yellowtail, and we had one of those long-range Aleos Rocks yellowtail bites that you read about that doesn't really happen all that often, and we got to experience that. It was like all 30 to 40-pound fish.
Wow.
And they were biting good. We kind of got ruined, I'm not going to lie. I mean, 30 and 40-pounders, they're pretty tough, man. We had a lot of guys getting rocked on them, but they were biting good, and we did that for the better part of an afternoon and into the next morning, and even caught them in the dark. It was pretty awesome fishing. Then we awoke again the next morning and had, again, good wahoo fishing. It was awesome, flat, calm weather. And we're just like, wow, can it get much better? And at that point, we ended up going inside to have some more surface-style yellowtail fishing. Had a good day of yellowtail fishing, eating the surface side and the fly line baits. Everyone's stoked, thinking, it can't get much better. We rolled up the line. We located some yellowfin tuna yesterday that was really good fishing. It was good biting yellowfin tuna. I'd call it 12 to 20-pound fish.
Perfect.
And we caught our daily limits in short order. It was really good fishing, and again, we were blessed again with really good flat, calm weather, and we kind of ran out of time, which is fine because we had our daily limits. So we started going up the line, and we started seeing numerous schools of that fish. And I know that guys had kind of transversed that general vicinity the couple days prior, so that's new fish that moved in, and it's a really good sign of it. And, I kind of foresee that fish working up the coast to be in 1- and 2-day range for these local guys. So that's all good stuff. And we just had a really good time and a really good trip. I just wanted to call in with that report.
What a
great
trip.
news, Bill.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Well, that's great news. And it looks like, we have that the hurricanes and the warm water, the big swell pushing stuff up. So are you anticipating that yellowfin tuna coming into local waters relatively quickly here?
Yeah, I do. I've been doing this for quite some time, Pete, and the setup's pretty good. And I would imagine that fish is going to be up within, day and a half and 2-day range before too long. When, I don't know, but the setup is good for that stuff to move up the coast.
And how cool to have that good wahoo fishing down there, too. I mean, that's nice and early and having it for multiple days. And it's time to get your jigs wired up and your poppers ready for the yellowfin. There's some good living coming our way.
Oh, it was so rad, Rick. I mean, we had one stop. It was just like, it's like one of those long-range stories you read about in the sport fishing magazines. We had this stuff where we had fish jumping all over the place. We had guys getting bit like 5 feet from the boat. I mean, it was really visually pretty awesome, to say the least.
Awesome.
What a great trip, Bill.
Great
Congratulations.
Trip. Captain Bill Cavanaugh aboard the Intrepid. Welcome back, Bill, and thanks for the report. That's great news for the future.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much for taking my call.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
All
right. Well, let's continue on with our catch report. Talk to our man, our FishDope.com reporter, and the private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge is on the line. What's up, Mark?
Hey, good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Pete and Brad. Well, I always hate sometimes following those long-range reports because, it minimizes what we bought. But, I think we're going to be okay this time. So
I think you're just fine.
I think we're going to be okay. So we're going to go back in history just a little bit, way back for some of you young guys, all the way back to 1983, fall of 83, big El Nino year. A bunch of us were up on the Osborne Bank, just below Santa Barbara Island, fishing marlin. Huge volume of fish up there on the bank. And one of the guys trolling a few jigs there, he had 3 30-pound outfits out, and thank God, 1 80-pound rig. And that one got bit, and he hooked the fish, and it didn't jump. He's wondering what the heck's going on. And it turned out to be a 363-pound bluefin, and we were all just totally blown away. Nobody had ever heard of such a thing around here. That was 34 years ago, guys.
On a marlin jig?
Yeah, on a marlin jig.
Oh,
I had no idea. I'd never even heard that. That's cool, Mark. I had no idea.
And get this, because you're a 2-speed reel generation kind of guy. This was on a single-speed reel with 80-pound mono, so, by today's standards, hardly any line on that reel.
No doubt.
And fortunately, they were up on the bank, so the fish couldn't, he couldn't go down too deep. But, yeah, they got them. We were all blown away, never seen anything like that before. And here we are 34 years later before another 300 hit the deck. And then this week there's been at least 3, it's like you mentioned a minute ago, 309, 316, and 359. Guys, really want to offer congratulations to the captains and crews and anglers involved in those fantastic catches. Oh, my God. Raising the bar, definitely, guys. So it's no secret where the epicenter of that action is, Desperation Reef, San Clemente Island. It's the bullseyes right on that, just like it was last year. And in reality, though, it's a much bigger area than the shallows on the reef. There's been fish east of the edge there, on the edge of the canyon there, right around the 81 and 86, out to the 381. And up the back of Clemente, up to the middle there, out there, that little 245 that's out there, there's fish that far. And it's probably fish above that, but nobody's looking. Last year we were fishing outside the dunes and had really good fishing a little bit later on. So we'll see what happens with that. But you could catch one of them trophies in several different manners. That Yummy Flyer kite combo's been working for months, and, it's still working just great. I mean, there's no doubt they're getting them. But with all the boats around, it's a little tough to fly that kite. But you could easily drift a live bait, a live squid, a sardine, a mackerel on a sinker rig there, and a heavy leader, of course, down deep. That's working good here this past week. Or you can drop a jig, and, man, I'm telling you, we had a flatfall frenzy in the store this week with the word getting out. Those fish are biting the jigs there. And those are great jigs, no doubt, but we've been catching bluefin on jigs long before flatfalls hit the scene, guys. So don't overlook a Salas 6X, a 6X Junior, a Caddy 4.0, any of those heavy jigs like that, or a Promar, one of those Ahi jigs in glow. You can swap out the hook, put on a heavy leader, and you're in business. So, guys, you've got to fish your big rigs. The grade of fish is much, much bigger than it was last year. 60's minimal. 80 to 100 is far more appropriate. We got cows and super cows swimming around right here in our backyard, and then we're also getting a little influx of that bigger grade yellowfin around the island now, and even had 2 wahoo local rumors this week. So maybe we want to get a few jigs wired up. We have the best setup I've seen around here in many, many years right now for both big fish and spread of fish. It's definitely time to go fishing, guys.
I'll take that report.
Yeah,
that's a good one. You can give that report, Mark, for the rest of our lives, and I will be happy always. A legitimate shot at a 300-pounder. I mean, this is crazy what's going on right now. And very, very good info you gave about those jigs with the heavy leaders. And, Mark, we hear it time and time again every day. If you're going right now and targeting a bluefin, they're just too big to hook on 40 and 50-pound. Not saying the gear-wise, but you cannot tie that flat fall direct. your odds of landing that fish without that heavy fluorocarbon leader right now are they're slim. That fish is just too big. They eat it on the sink. Most of those big ones get caught with that jig down in their throat, and your line is rubbing on the teeth. Bluefin have a gnarly set of teeth, more so than the other ones, and they're so bad about just flaring their gill plates and shaking their heads so bad with that buzzsaw. And if you don't, I mean, it's 130-pound fluorocarbon, or the like is what you need to put on those big flat falls. And that was really good dope, Mark.
Yeah, this week, I'm sure for you guys, everybody in Southern California, I think just the fact that those fish are starting to bite stuff other than the yummy combo, it just opened it up to so many people on sport boats. I mean, I think the Outrider had like a 289 yesterday.
Gee.
It's just crazy the grade of fish. You think of how many guys are getting destroyed on these big ones, how many other 300-pounders have been lost.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
This is crazy what's going on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff, Mark.
Yeah, of course, fishdope.com. Danny and the boys have had all the info up, and they're very specific about how to fish the yummy, very specific about how to fish the flat fall, and targeting these big bluefin, as well as when I went to Coronado Islands the other day, that's where I went, find out where the fish were, and got the numbers right off of Fish Dope and caught them. The guys running offshore, catching bigger yellowtail and Dorado. Fishdope.com has it all. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HOOKUPNOW. Lowercase, no space. HOOKUPNOW. And how do we find you at Pacific Edge?
We're on a corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger and Huntington Beach. The phone numbers are code 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And it's just getting better and better.
Yeah, it is, Mark.
Go fishing, guys.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Talk to you next week.
You got it. I'll see you guys.
All right, let's head on down to San Diego now, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing. Talk to our buddy Marcos. Marcos, what's going on at Seaforth?
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. What's up?
Oh, we just had some good fishing last week here. You got a nice little report there, kind of explain some of it. But kind of what we've been seeing for the last few weeks here, very good fishing on the half day. We have the rockfish in the morning, other bottom fish in the morning. The afternoon, very good calico bass fishing. Seeing yellowtail and bonita. They had 19 yellowtail, 7 bonita. To go 66 calico bass kept, 150 release yesterday. Very good fishing on both those, morning and afternoon. 3-quarter day trip, San Diego fishing down at the islands. Yellowtail, bonita, barracuda, calico bass. Again, very good fishing on there. And we're running both those trips pretty much every day here. Half day, 3-quarter day. But definitely double check the schedule there. It's definitely at that time of year where you're starting to see some charters in there. So some days like today we didn't have an open party half day or 3-quarter day in the morning. So check out the website, seaforthlanding.com. Has a full schedule for the half days, the 3-quarter days. We're running 1-day trips, and they're seeing a nice mix of yellowtail, starting to see some Dorado in there, occasional yellowfin, and it's kind of a nice sign seeing those yellowfin on there too. So good fishing all around. Seaforthlanding.com. Check the website there. You can make reservations directly online. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. And like we're trying to get you guys every week, come down, visit, and have a Rock Out Rick breakfast for you, though.
There you go. And I tell you what, if you want to take somebody out and catch a lot of fish, now is the time to do it.
Yes.
You choose a half-day trip, and better yet, a 3-quarter day trip on the San Diego. You want to catch a lot of fish. There's a lot of fish out there right now, and they're biting.
Obviously, the yellowtail is the highlight, and it always steals the show. But, I mean, the amount of bonita and calico bass and barracuda and everything, I mean, it's action all day long. You nailed it. It's a really good time to go.
Even on slow days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's really good.
Yeah, so go fishing. Go to Seaforth. Yeah.
Absolutely. That bass fishing is really fun. Like you said, you get to hook into a lot of them. It's not going to be overly taxing. Not going to hook into one calico bass and be done for the day. It's just going to want to make you fish some more. So definitely check the website. You can make reservations online. And one thing we don't talk about, you can definitely follow us on Twitter and Facebook there, and we put up updates as the day goes through there, find out new trips, find out how they're doing. So at Seaforth Landing for both of those, and lots of ways to get information, lots of ways to go fishing, so it's time to get out there.
Right on, Marcos. Great report. Good job as always, and we're looking forward to hearing another great one next Saturday here on Let's Talk Hookup.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks, Marcos. All right.
Marcos. All right. Rick Jensen, Sport Fishing Financial. He's on a little family holiday.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Good job,
so
Rick.
he's not going to be calling in today, but sportfishingfinancial.com. Always get good advice and talk fishing with Rick. Always fun.
You got it. Well, hey, that's going to wrap up our catchboard today, which, again, was sponsored by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook. Live or frozen, the most important point to remember when rigging a squid is to use the Gamakatsu Octopus 4X Strong hook. Nothing penetrates deeper or holds tighter. And while it's true that every captain has his own tricks for how to rig a squid, there's no question on which hook to use. The Gamakatsu octopus hooks at your favorite tackle store. And I'll tell you the method that I think is even better where those octopus hooks are is what Bill Kavanaugh talked about, and that is wahoo fishing. That hook, in my opinion, is the very best hook you could ever put on your wahoo bomb. That 8.0 Octopus 4 Extra Strong. It's big, it's slightly offset, it's super sharp, it's got a good barb.
Super strong.
Yeah, I swap every wahoo lure bomb that I have out to that hook. I think it's the very best one around.
Gamakatsu Octopus 4 Extra Strong.
Yeah, in an 8.0 size.
8.0
or even 9.0, but 8.0 is my favorite. I love that hook.
All right.
If you're going wahoo fishing and you're fishing bombs, that for sure will help your hookup ratio. That hook is killer.
Sharp.
Yeah, it's really good.
Unbelievable.
They look at it the wrong way. You got them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, another bonus report. Mike on the tribute. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Doing great, Mike. Good morning.
It's, you know what, I know Marcus just gave you a little bit of a rundown. I definitely got to emphasize some of this overnight fishing that we've had lately has been absolutely phenomenal. Very, very good. Very good yellowtail fishing, limit-style fishing. Yesterday we had a very good go-around on that bigger grade yellowtail, too. Ended up with limits. About 50 of those fish were in the 18 to 33-pound range.
Woo.
And you're going to talk me into a jig strike here. So far, we've had very good fishing here this morning. First of a 2-day charter, very good yellowtail fishing so far. 1 yellowfin tuna and pretty good sign of Dorado. We're hang on one second. Hey guys, we're going to throw by this kelp patty. There's a lot of tumbling fish on it. It's going to come down our starboard side. We're just rolling up on another kelp
cool
here.
Is that?
The amount of Dorado and yellowtail on these kelps down here is pretty outstanding. Trying to land these Dorado this morning have been a little bit of an issue, but there is a really good sign of yellowfin too. I know the Pacific Queen coming up from a multi-day trip. Oh, you talked me into a jig strike.
Got him. Yeah, got him.
But the Pacific Queen coming up yesterday from a multi-day, I think, had a little over 40 yellowfin. We did see a fair amount of that this morning on one of the kelps that we stopped on, but there was so much yellowtail we couldn't fish through them.
Wow, unbelievable. What's the appropriate gear for a guy to be fishing that kelp patty fish with right now, Mike? I mean, what's the ideal rod and reel to go fishing and getting in, between the yellows and small ones and big ones and Dorado and now tuna? Like, what's the ideal setup to be fishing right now?
You know what? I'd bring out gear anywhere from 25-pound on up to, at least for this stuff, 60-pound. We hold just a abundant amount of rods. I think we have 205 rod holders on boats, so even when we're full. The way fishing's been this year with some of that big bluefin around, you want to make sure you do have some heavy tackle with you because you never know. But the standard 25 to 40-pound is probably what, if you're going to bring 2 rods, I'd bring a 25-pound rod and a 40-pound rod. Some of that yellowtail that we had yesterday was easily into the mid-30-pound range, and you don't want to be undergunned. Bring a pretty versatile stack of gear with you.
How cool.
Awesome.
Wow. Good job, Mike.
So great. Hey, you better get down on deck and start gaffing fish, Mike.
Thankfully, this is a light charter group, but right now it's full speed yellowtail. There's a few Dorado on this kelp. I do have to go. We are running open party 1-day trips all throughout the week. I know Sunday night looks like it's probably full or close to it. There is plenty of room throughout the week. Give Seaforth Landing a call at 619-224-3383. And please take a look at our Facebook page. You can see what we've been catching here lately. Some really nice, great fish.
Awesome.
Great.
Great
so
report.
Cool.
Appreciate that very much, Mike, and thanks a lot for letting us talk you into a jig strike.
Yeah,
right
that was awesome.
The call this morning. Good report, for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it. Well, the phones are jam-packed. The only line open, 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Scott, who's calling us from West Covina this morning. Hi, Scott. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Scott, are you with us?
Yo, Scott.
I guess we lost Scott.
All right. Well, then let's talk to Mike, who's calling us from El Cajon this morning. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. Yeah. I kind of got my question answered. I was going to try to find out about the new colors that Rapala is coming out with. But I do got 2 other questions. And then I am going to get that white one with the red head. I seen it.
The Pete Gray special.
I guess.
Now I know I'm going to add that to the list. Now, if I'm in the surf fishing, I just like to target halibut when I'm in the surf. I don't care about the other fish. They land on it, nah, that's good. I let them go. But I like to target the halibut. Now, what color pattern do you think would work the best in the surf, especially if the grunting and running and whatnot? And then I got one other question: what new colors or patterns do you have in the Williamson lures for the trolling for the tuna and whatnot?
Brad?
Well, in the Williamson and the trolling feathers, in the feathers, but personally, those X-Wraps are pretty hard to beat. So feathers are kind of a little bit old school now with everything else out there. So I would definitely, if you're going outside, I'd troll the X-Wrap Magnums in that 20 or 30.
I always have been, always will be an X-Wrap guy, but we did have one run, and it was a promotion you guys had at Fred Hall a while ago, but that Williamson Speed Pro.
Oh, yeah, that
was
Pro.
That was the hot jig for, this was 2 seasons ago, our sport boats were catching bluefin on them. And you know how difficult it is to get a jig strike out of a bluefin, but that was like the one everybody wanted, and it was a promotional thing we had like extras of, and all of a sudden a bunch of guys, how do I get that?
What's a Speed Pro?
I hate to say it, it's probably not the greatest thing saying for it, but it's a Rapala version of a Williamson. It's just a minnow style bait, a molded bill, trolling lure.
It does have a self-centering line guide on it on the bill. So for what that's worth, it's pretty simple to tie on.
It's all the same family.
Right, it's all the same family.
It's just different, but it's that style. What else do you compare it to? Rapala, it's like a Xerox or a Kleenex. That's what you call it because they're so
they're a little
dominant,
less expensive. So you can buy several more. If you're have a budget that you have to keep within and that. But they do work. And they're a great lure.
At Fred Hall, we were giving away. If you bought that was the promotion. If you bought 3 X-Wraps, you got a free Speed Pro, and that's how they got kind of introduced. And it's like, well, this thing's good too, I like that.
Exactly.
We give away a lot of Speed Pros at our San Diego County Ford Dealers Live Remote, which we'll be doing on Saturday. Next Saturday, we'll be giving away some Speed Pros as well as some extra.
Yeah, that sardine pattern or that mackerel pattern worked great.
I remember too. You have a Williamson popper that crushed last year when we had that good tuna fishing. Those Williamson poppers are really good too. They do.
They make really good.
All of them, the jet poppers and the pro pop, everything.
All their poppers.
Yeah, they make really, really good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
And I'll ask for that one last thing. Although I know it's probably not the most ideal color for me, that halibut surf, I have a spotted minnow color X-Wrap.
That's a great bait.
That is not really what a grunion looks like or whatever, but you were talking about having baits that just get all chewed up for me. The coolest surf lure that I have is that X-Wrap in the spotted minnow color.
Yeah, and it works great. Yeah. It works great everywhere. And that OD green, that looks a little bit more like a grunion, but that spotted minnow does get bit all the time. So.
Mike, appreciate the phone call very much. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It is Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
If you've been searching for that perfect inshore and offshore boat, Defiance is the one. Go far and stay dry is the Defiance slogan. And that is exactly what you get in these overbuilt, trailerable offshore boats. Inland Boat Center has the Defiance you are looking for in stock, ready to fish. A huge 2.5-acre indoor showroom and over 300 new and pre-owned boats for everyone. Family-owned and operated. Their customer service is the finest available. They take trades of all types and offer amazing financing deals. Check out Inland Boat Center's inventory of Defiance Pilot House boats online, including the Admiral 22 and the San Juan 25. Solid construction with no wood to ever rot. Defiance boats are built to last. It is the peak of the season, and the Defiance boat deals have never been better. Along with great financing, you could be fishing next week in your new boat for much less than you ever thought possible. Inland Boat Center, 681 East Jacinto in Paris. Check the website for the current inventory and more at inlandboatcenter.com. No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seagar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit seaguard.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
It's time to get excited about fishing, and Point Loma Sport Fishing has everything you'll need. They offer half-day and three-quarter-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit their website at PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Mr. Brad Stieler from Rapala or Rapala, whatever you want to call it, as long as you buy it. Right here,
I love that.
In the studio with us, talking fishing. You want to get through, have a chance to win a $100 package of Rapala Williamson lures, including the X-Rap Magnums, which are just the awesome lure for pretty much anything around. Wow. 858-457-1090, open right now. Hey, we set up an exciting deal with the guys at Fisherman's Landing aboard the Liberty.
Yeah.
And Captain Taro, they're going to be doing a series of 3 two-day trips on the Liberty in September. And we're going to co-sponsor one of them with them. It's an ultra-limited load 2-day on the giant Liberty. 24 passengers.
Yeah, right?
Can you believe that? Yeah, and they bargain priced it for the 2-day, including all your food and your Mexican license, for $650.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Including you're done. That's it.
Yeah, and 24 passengers.
Yeah, it's going to be
on the Liberty.
So sweet.
Yeah, that's like a half load.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure he's out with 48 today, at least. Yeah.
I don't know what their max load is, but the boat is capable of carrying a ton of people. It's very big. It's very roomy, but a load of only 24 on that boat is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing 3 trips in September, which, as you heard from Mike, they're Hold on. September is going to be so awesome.
I think so too, man.
Yeah. It's going to be September. Our trip that we're going to sponsor is September 17th. It departs at 8 p.m. and returns on the 19th at 7 p.m. It's a Sunday to Wednesday, Sunday to Tuesday trip. And it's, again, $650, includes all your food, limited 24. You can book any and all those trips, including this one that we're going to sponsor. We're going to have a lot of stuff to give away on the trip, and one of us will be on the boat. Somebody from Let's Talk Hookup. We have an arm wrestle for that.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody's already posturing for that trip.
Ryan and myself. See, Fisherman's Landing. Call them right now. Book that trip. It's going to fill up. 221-8500, or you can book it right online at fishermanslanding.com. It's also up on our website on our trips page, along with a lot of other trips up there that you can check out what we're doing and join us on our trips page at letstalkhookup.com.
All right. Well, the phones are packing up. The only line that's still available, we have one toll-free number still left, 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Tom, who's called us from Temecula this morning. Hi, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Tom.
Morning, guys.
Hey, Tom.
Great show and great product that Rapala puts out, or whatever you call it.
No, you said it okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I have used those CD18s back in the 80s to catch sand bass up off the Huntington Flats there, and they were a great producer of the bigger than normal sand bass back then. My question is, how really important is color? I know action is huge with surface iron and that sort of thing, and I know that you hear about people with the paint coming off their lures and there's not much paint left, and they still catch fish. So how important is that? And based on like the XRAP 20s and 30s where they're going down, I know the color spectrum changes as you go down deeper. What's your take on that?
Well, in all the tests that they've done, action is the biggest denominator in any lure. Depending on how deep you go, you brought up a good point regarding color and stuff like that with light refraction and stuff like that. But action is the biggest determination as far as when a bait gets bit. But
color's somewhere on the list, but it's clearly not at the top.
It's not at the top.
Color's more of an attraction for the angler.
Right. It's not at the top of the list. But it's proven though, like a purple mackerel right before dawn, in the dark does seem to do better, and I think it has to do with fish looking up. They see a silhouette, and it depends, So,
and that's why these new colors on the X-Rep Magnums, they're reflective and stuff.
Right.
Amazing.
Right. So I think the deeper you go, the darker the water gets, and it does dissipate it a little bit. If you're more towards the surface, I think light refraction does come into play, but action is the biggest indicator.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Let's go live to the Searcher. Captain Art Taylor's on the line. Good morning, Art.
Hey, good morning, Pete and Rick. How's everybody doing today?
Boy, we're pretty excited with all these reports of yellowfin, yellowtail, Dorado. It's on, Art.
Yeah, we're catching a few yellowtail and Dorado this morning here. The ocean's calm, and so we're always grateful for that. And, nice 72 and blue degree water, so the water is warm and clean, and there's lots of it around, and there's that additional sign of yellowfin tuna that we think is moving up the coast here, so we're excited about that. So it's a great time to go fishing.
All right, and it's nice grade of yellowtail and Dorado on those kelps, right, Art?
Yeah, if you get the right kelp, there can be some quality yellowtail and Dorado. Yellowtail up to 30 pounds and some 15-pound Dorado, and so if you get the right kelp, there's definitely a mix of those that are out here. And, the yellowfin tuna are associated with the common dolphin, so if you see a big herd of common dolphin out there, then that's something that you want to look for, and that's something that we're looking for today. We got a report, I think Mike talked about it, the Pacific Queen had some yellowfin tuna on common dolphin, and also the Royal Star did yesterday, and the Shogun had a few, so there's more and more yellowfin tuna showing up all the time.
Awesome. That's great news. Now, you have a 3-day trip on Monday, I believe, that's it's like price for like an April trip. It's bargain price for an August trip. Is that right, Art?
Yeah, it's $925, and there's only 14 people on it. The trip's going to go because we committed to some guys that came from out of state a long time ago that we're going to run the trip, and so it's got an extremely light load. So if somebody has the time off next week, it's a great opportunity to get out and get some yellowtail and yellowfin and Dorado, and maybe a chance at a bluefin tuna as well.
Yeah, 3 days gives you a lot of options to go a lot of places on the Searcher and stateroom accommodations. That includes all the food and everything, Art?
It includes the food, but not and it does include a Mexican permit, fishing permit. It doesn't include the visa, so that's an additional cost.
Okay.
But food and permits are included in the cost of the trip, and it's a great chance to go with a light load, and there's good fishing.
Well, that leaves Monday what time, Art?
Check-in is at 10 a.m., so the boat will leave between 11 and noon, and so you'll get to fish a little that afternoon, and then 2 full days after that, and they can call Celia at 619-226-2403, or you can book directly online there at searchersportfishing.com.
What a great opportunity to go with a super light load in August.
Yeah.
The fish are biting. 3-day trip for less than $1,000. Come on.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Gotta go.
I'm with it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Art. Appreciate the call. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
See, Art.
Getting them. Bart Hall's on the line. Your golfing buddy, Brad.
Uh-oh. Hey, Bart.
He's my elk connection.
Connection, yeah.
That was delicious.
But by the way, when I used to run my boat, the favorite Rapala that we used, I'm not sure what color it was when it started, but it kept fish long after it didn't have any color.
That's true.
Probably a redhead, right?
Yeah, white with a red head.
No, I think it was actually a green mackerel. But I'm sitting here listening to all this, and I'm thinking, I just came back from the Sierras over the 4th of July, and you go into any tackle store up there, and there, an entire wall of Rapala lures, all, for freshwater, so there's got to be a reason for that. And it reminded me of this story I wanted to share with you guys. I was in Scotland one time, and I was over there to play golf, and this guy says, "Are you the guy who runs that show in L.A.?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I've been there, and I like it, and I want to take you fishing." I said, "Okay, but I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, and I'm not hauling my waders across the Atlantic, so I'll bring a travel spinning outfit, and I'll go fishing with you." He says, "Well, you won't catch anything, but you come along." So we get over there. It's pouring rain. He goes out, and he's beating the water with his fly rod. It takes me 20 minutes to assemble my travel rig, and I got one lure. It's that little black and silver Rapala, the floating one, and it was tiny, and I had bent the barbs down with my pliers, and so here I go down to the shore, first cast, brown trout. And long story short, at the end of an hour, I had 6 fish. This guy's still beating the water with his fly rod. So,
way to go, Bart.
Story for the day.
I like it.
Always a good
cool.
one.
They work. No doubt about
Good
it.
show, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Bart.
Bart.
Appreciate the call this morning.
That's cool. Well, the phones are packed up. Everybody wants to talk to Brad, and let's going to do just that. Let's jump in and talk to Norris. He's calling us from Lakewood this morning. Hi, Norris. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Norris. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Just wanted to tell you a short story. I went to Cat one time with my buddy Mike, not using stick baits before. He's a bass fisherman and was doubting him, before that. And he probably caught 40 to 50 fish, even 2 at a time at one time, to my maybe 3 fish throughout the whole day, which really made me a believer. So I just wanted to tell you thanks, Brad, for, making, a good stick bait that works not just for inshore, but for even a pelagic or two.
Well, that's great. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right
Hey,
on.
very good.
Well done,
Thanks a lot
Norris.
for the call this morning. We were talking about Katmai Lodge earlier and using, we, as Bart called it, beat the water all day and had a phenomenal day the last day on big Alaska rainbows in the Alagnak River. And then our arms got a little tired, so Jeff says, "Here, try the fly rod with what's the little spinner that Rapala makes? They're like to have a blade on it.
Oh, the little Blue Fox, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Fox.
Yeah, that's the Vibrex.
The Vibrex,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Vibrex.
Yeah.
He says, "Here, try these." Literally every cast for both Pete and I, every cast doubles, boom, 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 on either a king salmon or a giant rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, wow. Impressive.
That's so cool.
That Vibrex is a great lure. It's a great spinner.
Yeah. So what Bart was saying is right. It's like, I love fly fishing. But sometimes you just got to go to the
Sometimes you want to catch fish.
You got to go to the middle.
Sometimes the fly is the right tool for the job, and sometimes the spinner is.
Yep.
It's
You
just
got it.
you gotta have them all in your arsenal
for sure.
All right, well, let's jump back in. We got Scott from West Covina back on the line. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. How you guys doing? Sorry
Good,
about
Scott.
that earlier.
Oh, it's okay. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
No problem. I'm going to be going down to San Diego on a day and a half next Sunday, and I was looking to rent a 2-speed. Did you guys have a recommendation? I've been listening at, line size or what I should be asking for.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends a little bit on the length of trip you're going on and a little bit on which direction those guys are going to go. And sometimes we say that, especially right now, it's best to maybe check in with the guys on the boat before you make that determination, because if there's 2 options for a guy right now. One is going to the south and having that really good fishing on, as we heard Mike and Art and all those guys talk about, very good yellowtail, very good Dorado, now that influx of yellowfin tuna. And if you were wanting a 2-speed for that, probably 40-pound would be the right size. It'll be good for those bigger yellows, and then should you get into some of that bigger tuna, it'll be right. And then if you happen to be going out to the west and targeting that real big bluefin tuna, you'd probably want a 60-pound or even an 80-pound 2-speed outfit. So I would just go down, and when you're at the landing, check in with the boat that you're going to be going with, talk to the captain and or the crew, and just say, hey, should I be more prepared for that real big bluefin? Should I be prepared for that great kelp patty yellowfin or yellowtail? And then, make your decision based on that.
And they do, I know Fisherman's Landing does rent 2-speed equipment.
We have standard 2-speed equipment, which are TLD 22 speeds, and we have premium 2 speeds available, both Talica 12s and Talica 20s. So, if you were wanting to go catch a giant bluefin, TAC 20 full of 80-pound, 100-pound, and a CalStar Graphiter, those are available for rent for sure. Yeah,
that's for rental.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, do you have to be fishing on a boat out of Fisherman's Landing?
You do, yeah. Yeah, those are just reserved for the guys going out of Fisherman's Landing, and I'm not sure which landing or boat you're going on, but check with the landing. I'm sure that they have some great rental gear available, but if not, if you are lucky enough to be going out of Fisherman's, like I said, you can rent just the highest end tackle on the market.
I believe Point Loma also has it.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I'm not positive, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Those guys have some pretty kick butt stuff down there.
You bet. Hey, thanks a lot. Good luck on your trip, Scott.
How about next up we talk to Mike, and he's calling us from Chula Vista this morning. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Mike.
Hey, hi, Rick. Hey, just got back from San Catine this last night. Fished 2 days down there, and one of the guys, the yellowtail, are coming in. They caught 26 in the patties early morning.
Woo.
We found ourselves probably making bait too long and got out. We got split around the backside of San Martin Island and hooked up to really 3 white sea bass, really nice. Just tossing my bait up into the kelp line and just got hammered twice, about 40-pounders, and then got a smaller one, about a 15-pounder. But what I want to know is you talked about the Rapalas real quick in terms of the sizes and everything. When I go back, I want to make sure I got the right quiver for the yellowtail action in August and September, because I think it's going to really go off there, and I want to make sure I got the right stuff going down. So some advice for a couple different depths.
X-Rap Magnums, the 20s and 30s, you can't go wrong. Those are the 2 most versatile sizes. 20 is probably the most versatile, depending on, if you're not, really far out, if you're more along the coast and the kelp patties and stuff like that. But if you're outside, definitely you want 30s in your box.
I don't. Go ahead, please.
Now, they also make a 15, too, right?
We make a 15, too, yeah. But for those yellowtail and stuff like that, I would stick with 20 or 30s.
In general, everything changes. You know how that goes, and bait size and everything else. But in general, my rule has always been yellowtail, I like the larger ones. Tuna, I like the smaller ones. Even though tuna get larger than yellowtail, for yellows, I've always liked the bigger sizes, the 30. And for tuna, I've always liked the 20. And I'm really excited about that new 40 coming out.
Right.
For yellowtail, it's always been that way. You can't fish a bait too big. Like they like eating big baits,
and
I like the size that X-Rap 30. I like the depth that it gets you. That's definitely been my favorite. Caught tons of fish on the 20. Would never say it's not the right lure to fish, but for yellows in general, that X-Rap 30 is always going to be my favorite.
The larger the X-Rap mag, the faster you control it. Is that true?
Well, they all troll about 11 or 12 knots.
Okay.
You can go that fast. Nobody really trolls that fast, but yeah, you go up to 11, 12. You could, and they're all rated for that. The number is the depth. So if you've got a 15, it goes 15 feet, 20's 20 feet, 30, 40 feet.
Wow, so the X-Rap 40 will go 40
feet
deep?
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And we also make that X-Rap Magnum in a 10, too.
That's
so,
cool.
I mean we go small, too. But yeah, the number correlates, and that's in most of our lures. The number correlates to the depth that it runs.
Is that 40 available now? Is it already out in
starting
stores?
to ship now?
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So it's just starting to trickle out right now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a really good one for you guys. I really like that.
That's going to be a good one. Hey, hope that helps you out. Good luck. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Want to be sure to check out this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. Always loaded with great information. This week, they have a big insert for the 19th annual Los Cabos Tuna Jackpot Tournament in November 1st. So check it out, this week's edition of Western Outdoor News.
All right, let's jump back into the phones. Talk to Joe, calling us from San Pedro this morning. Good morning, Joe. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Thank you for taking... Hello.
Hello.
You there?
Hello, Joe.
Yeah, we're here.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call, and my question is, what speed would you troll the CD-18 at?
Well, most of them trolling, what are they trolling, 6, 7 knots? Right in there.
That's kind of the standard.
That's the
trolling speed.
Yeah, that's the standard. So, but 6, 7 knots is usually is average.
Like you said, the beauty of Rapalas is you can usually troll them faster than you need to if that scenario applies. But yeah, 6, 7 knots I would say is standard for sure.
And would you have a leader with that, with the barrel swivel, or just tie straight to the lure?
I'd usually use a swivel on there so you can snap it in, snap it out. If you're changing colors or whatever, on a leader, that's what
I
I've
like
always
a straight tie myself.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
So. I'm lesser the fan of putting the snap on the bill of my jig. If you like. Our trolling rods on our boat are all we set everything up with wind-on leaders, so we have a pretty darn heavy leader at the end of our trolling line, and so we crimp on a snap swivel. So on all of my Rapalas, I just I'll tie like a 3-foot piece of fluorocarbon, like a 3-foot piece of 50-pound, and put a barrel swivel up above, only because for the ease of dealing with that snap swivel at the end of our trolling gear. But I'm with you, Pete. In a perfect scenario, I like to direct tie.
Yeah. All right, very good. Hope that helps you out.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, how about we talk to Dave, calling from Mira Mesa this morning. Hi, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys. I called last week and briefly talked about that Shelter Island boat launch. I was a little nervous, a little frustrated. It probably didn't come across too good, but I can assure you, I definitely think we are still getting hosed down there, the private fishermen that are trying to launch. There's the sea boats, those blue things that come in and out. They're just taking huge priority over what the private guys are trying to do. The lines are building up at the launch ramp, and it's not because there's a huge amount of guys down there trying to launch or get their boats out. I mean, it's pretty much a skeleton crew of people. But those boats are taking priority and forcing us to wait.
Yeah.
I think we were in full agreement with you.
Yeah, it's not right. And here's the other thing, too. I heard from our helper, Dave Dolan, that they were open with 2 lanes. Now they're down to 1 lane because they're in full swing here. So 1 lane, and when those seal boats come through, they get priority. It's like it just go somewhere else.
Yeah, go to Dana.
Yeah, go to Dana.
I mean, I realize Shelter Island is great when you're running south, but, man, Dana has a big facility that's easy to deal with. Obviously, the best part is you got Dana Landing Market right there for sandwiches and fuel and beer and all the other stuff, all the great tackle that goes with it. But I'm with you, man. I would just avoid, if it were me, which it is, I just avoid Shelter until they get this thing figured out.
Yeah, and look at the positive side. The end result.
Oh, absolutely.
For the port, it's going to look great. It's going to be such a better facility. Kind of sucks that they had to do it in the summer, but
what it is.
That's
here we are.
Construction,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But and it does. It's not right that the seal boats have priority, but they have a good lawyer, so there you go. Right?
That's it.
But that's just something we have to deal with.
Yeah, we're on your side on this one, Dave. We agree. It stinks that that's the hand that we were dealt, but hey, that's what we got. And there's still plenty of good spots to go fishing.
And it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
It's going to get nothing but worse. You watch.
You are right on that, bro.
Starts biting. Holy moly.
Yeah, you are right about that.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate the input.
All right. How about next up we talk to Brian calling us from San Clemente this morning. Hi, Brian. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
How you doing, guys?
What's up, Brian?
Hey, I love the Rapala. I've been using it since I've been a kid, and back in the new millennium, 2000, Fisherman's Landing held a contest for the first albacore, and we caught it on I want to say it was a CD7. Was that it?
Probably a 14.
Probably a 14,
yeah. 14.
Wow,
that's cool.
You know, and here's what's interesting too is we stopped the boat a lot on albacore on that CD14, CD18.
Yeah,
but the albacore like the smaller ones.
They do.
They do. Yeah,
they like those smaller ones.
Yeah.
So if we have that endangered creature come back into our waters at some point, I would go with that. What would be the 15? The X-Rap Mag 15?
Well, we have 15, but we also have 12 and 10.
12.
Yeah. 12 and 10, too.
Like a 12, yeah.
Purple Mac X-Rap 10. You mark those words.
There you
go. That's
going
to be it, man. That was going to be an albacore killer.
And the cool thing is, you don't have to tune it every time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly.
We say that now like it's going to be some big. They kill them all the time in Washington and Oregon with that. We're just wait. When those things come back, they'll be biting that. They get them so good with that. It's really, really good. I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the call.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a $100 package of Rapala and Williamson. You stay tuned. There's more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the mighty 1090.
Everyone knows kites and yummy flyers are the hot item. But do you have the right tackle for that big bite? Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Big fish need big tackle, and that's why we recommend the Shimano Talica 52-speed reel filled with 130-pound Power Pro Hollow Ace and a Shimano Terez 72 double extra heavy rod. At Fisherman's Landing Tackle, we have more experience and expertise on fishing for big local bluefin tuna than anyone else. So why take a chance on your fish of a lifetime? Let us set you up with a Shimano rod and reel that will get the job done. Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hard-working crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering great half-day and now three-quarter-day open party trips. Book online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
He's not just my fishing buddy. After 30 years, he's a brother, and I'd sure hate to lose him. His bass boat's got nothing to do with it. So I make sure both of us wear a life jacket. Save the ones you love, even if they don't own a fancy boat. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
For East Cape fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenRen.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. All right, the big winner of the Rapala Williamson lure package, again, worth over $100, including those killer X-Wrap Magnums, is going to Joe in San Pedro. Joe, congratulations. You're going to be so stoked with this gear.
You know, we just hearing the Jen Wren spot and Mark Rayer at Jen Wren Sport Fishing down the East Cape reminded me that fishing in the East Cape is unbelievable right now.
Awesome.
Really good wahoo fishing. They have that wahoo tournament at Palmas de Cortez coming up in August.
Good timing.
Our tournament in October. I can't believe there's still spots available for our
kidding.
tournament in October 12th. The Let's Talk Hookup trip with Statewide Stripes and Sport Fishing Financial, each throwing in $500 cash into that free tournament to enter. So if you want, go to our website, letstalkhookup.com, click on the trips page, and join us for that Palmas de Cortez Fall Spectacular 23rd anniversary of that trip. Brad, always a pleasure having you talking Rapala, whatever you want to say.
Pete, Rick, thank you. Thanks for having us,
Awesome,
and we
buddy.
appreciate all the job you do for Rapala and Williamson, and keep it up.
Yeah, we will. We appreciate that, and of course, you can get them at tackle stores all over the place. Right?
All over the place.
Yeah, all right, very good. Thanks for taking the time to come in here. And we want to remind you, next Saturday, a week from today, we'll be at North County Ford in Vista, giving away a lot of stuff, including Rapala and Williamson lures and more, and those great grand prize trips, too. So that's next Saturday, North County Ford in Vista, right off the 78. And tomorrow, we'll be back here in the Mighty 1090 studios with Dale Hightower from Seagar and Mike Wynn from Turner's Outdoorsman. Thanks to Ted on the other side of the glass, handling the phones and the board. And thank you all for listening today. We'll see you tomorrow morning right back here on the Mighty 1090.